So welcome to Resto Designs, guys, and welcome to another episode of Project Joker. So thank you guys for all the likes and comments and support while I've been gone. Hopefully you've seen my workshop, my dream workshop video. If you haven't, check that out. It is a big transformation from what it was to what it is. And as you can see in the background, it is still a work in progress. There is actually more stuff up. Now I'm going to put some more shelving at the back there with some sweets, because I've definitely got a sweet tooth, so I'm going to put my supply of sweets up there. I need to make a workbench and some power tool storage and charging points and stuff. So still a lot to do, so there probably will be a part 2 to my dream garage build. But for now, let's just jump back on, like I said, Project Joker. So if you saw the last video, I took the dash out, which was badly cracked, the MDF one, and rat nest and rat poo everywhere, and removed the pedal box, standard Mark II one, and put in the Passat one with a hydraulic clutch. But if you do want to see that, you should check that out. That was last week's video. Got some boxes there on the shelf, which I've never worked with that brand before, so we're going to see what they're like. I guess first impressions. So we're going to be doing coilovers, changing the subframe to a Mark III subframe, and going 5/100 conversion on this as well, wishbones and hubs and bits and bobs. He's also re-drilled a new set of flanges, which were 5/100 I think, and he's re-drilled them to 4/100. So they got both patterns on them, 4 and 5/100. And the idea is to kind of bolt on a set of 288s, which will still fit hopefully under a set of 15s. So you can still run a set of 15s, but have the biggest brakes possible at 288, which actually are a nice jump in performance from the 288 to the 280s. But I think the main reason he's done it so he can give him kind of an options between wheels. Because I think he does want to run, he's one of those guys that wants to run 17s on a Mark II if he can. Not my cup of tea, each to their own. I think for me personally, the 16 is a good medium between handling, looks, and not being too big for the car. But then also you can never go wrong with a 15-inch BBS or something. All right, enough talking, let's get on with this. So I'm gonna jack the car up, but I can see already that these top mounts don't have that little plastic kind of bit that goes around there. And the reason why I'm worried about that is because when you jack it up, you're gonna have this metal basically rubbing up here on this freshly painted part there, and it will scratch the paint off. So I think the first thing I'm going to do actually is just remove these 21 or 22 mil nuts and remove the cup off, so then when I actually do lift the car up, I don't care, the suspension will just drop, it's all coming off anyway. But yeah, I don't want to be damaging the paint, so let's get those off. Okay, I took the caps off. Wow, look at that rubber. It's definitely been sitting around for a long time, it seems. So that was pretty straightforward and painless, getting that all off. Now there's a reason why. One, look how dirty that is. And if it was going to keep this subframe, I still would have had to have removed it, cleaned it, painted it, fit it back on. That's the early style 8 valve or early style 16 valve mount. The engine side one If you have that, replace it for the latest 16 valve one. This is getting replaced with the Mark III one, and one of the main reasons why is, or the two main reasons why is, again, is that engine mount. But I think the Mark III ones are superior, as well as with the Mark III one, the petrol ones are kind of this thick rubber thing with loads of holes drilled in it. And the second reason is these wishbones. And those little collarbone, those little collar washers, whatever you want to call them, that slide into the back of the wishbones. I mean, that's all that holds that together, which for me, I'm not a fan of that really. Prefer the Mark III subframe, was kind of got like a half crescent moon in there, top and bottom, and the bush actually slides in. And also a benefit of having that half crescent in there is that the bush is actually, on the Mark IIIs, are smaller, which is exactly the same as the Mark IV ones, or the Mark IV platform, should I say. So that means that you can end up using the S3 type bushes, which are cheap and they're just solid rub all the way through, which gives you better control and also less harshness coming into the cabin. So it's a good kind of medium, and I do like fitting those a lot. So I've got the subframe in position. Also, I had to change the gaiter. One of the steering gaiters was all split. Also, I've painted the track rod ends and tidied up power steering lines and stuff. I'll do the pump and stuff once I've actually mounted the subframe on. Then once those go on, I can put the 5100 wishbones on, which are there, and then the hubs. And I also have somewhere, here's all the bearings and the flanges, but I've also, he's given me some flanges. I don't know what I've done with them actually. I have to, oh, here they are. Or maybe not. Oh no. What's these things? These are wheel bolts. Oh. There we go. So the discs, as you can see, have been re-drilled to 4 as well as 5100, and the same. So we started with a 5100 and drilled them out to 4100 so you can fit both sets of wheels. Now I've got these 3 boxes from TA. I've never actually worked with this brand before, so let's see what kind of quality they are. So I've got a 4-branch manifold, which looks like it's a 4 2-into-1, set of coilovers and adjustable top mounts, and a back box. So let's start off with the coilovers. I think these are some super low ones or something. Okay, so these aren't new. They're also TA. Maybe I'll give these a bit of a clean actually before I put them on. Okay. They look pretty cheap, if I'm honest. Don't know how they perform. I maybe wouldn't run these on my car, but I'd be interested to see actually how they perform or how it rides with these. So I might as well get these. So I'm going to need the front ones on first. Okay, again, pretty standard, I guess. Again, another adjustable platform. So I suppose you got super low if you want to do with it like that. Okay, so that's what these look like. This should be a 421 manifold for an 8 valve. I guess, again, time will tell. And then I'm assuming this is the back box. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you've tried these, if you've heard of someone that's used this TA stuff, and your opinions on it good, if it's not good. My first opinions, I'm like, I'm not sure. This sounds very tinny, like it's got no filling in there. It could be quite noisy. That seems a little bit thin. Will it crack over a few heat cycles? I don't know. And how comfortable or how harsh are these going to be? I guess time's going to tell. But let me know in the comments, guys. Like I said, if you've used this before, let me know. And also, guys, if you just press like, subscribe, there's quite a large percentage of people that actually watch that don't subscribe, that don't like, and it would really help me out in the channel, unlike many other channels that just waffle and not actually give anything back information wise. So it would really help me out, guys, if you could in return press like or subscribe. Would be amazing. All right, guys, let's carry on with this project. First things first, it'll probably be, I'm sure he's not going to want these on there crusty like that, especially with the engine bay looking as good as it does. He's not going to want that on there. I think I'll probably just paint that, even though you only see the top bit. Probably just paint that matte black to be safe. And I guess he can pick whatever colour he wants after. Right, guys, so the engine bay is looking pretty cool and a little bit more complete. So actually got the subframe on, done the brake lines as well, fit some new clips on there, and looking all good. Also painted the brake lines up. So I've got the anti-roll bar, the wishbones, the hubs, and all that stuff. Pressed in new bearings. Also I'll set up the coilovers for what looks about right. I haven't adjusted them or tightened them up because they haven't got their the drive shafts in them yet. But the height I'm not going to mess around with. I'll let the owner do what they want to do. I'll just have it at a height that I can actually lower it. I'll just have it at a normal height so you can just drive out of here. So now we're going to move on to the back, fit the rear coilovers. And to do that, we've got to actually clear out some of the mess from this boot so I can get to the top mounts. Actually saying that, I've taken off the rear wheel and I thought I might as well actually at the same time actually convert also the back to 5100, put the bearings on. And we're going to be using a Mark 4 caliper, and there's a few reasons for that. One, they're slightly lighter than the cast iron ones, as well as the Mark 2 ones, they seize up and these are seized. The Mark 3 ones seize up a lot less, and I find the Mark 4 ones seize up the least. And as you can see, the disc is multi-hold 4x100 and 5x100 re-drilled. So I managed to get the rear bracket off. The actual bolt, the 8mm Allen key was rounded off. And what I did was, I didn't show you guys, I literally removed the bottom one off, and then with a massive lever bar I was able to lever it up, then hammer it down, lever it up, and what it did was actually loosened it off. And then with a set of mole grips I was able to remove it. So that was quite easy. Luckily I do actually have a spare one to go on there. And also, if you look, there's actually no rubbers on this, and they're actually got a bit of play on this one. So it's quite worn. So luckily I do actually have another set of sliders with rubbers in them, so I can actually. So there's one tip actually with fitting the Mark 4 rear calipers. They are plug and play, but there is one slight difference. If you can see the ball shape on the end of this handbrake cable on the Mark 2 and on the Mark 3, and then if you look at the size of the ball difference to what's on the Mark 4. So what can happen is they kind of slide off, so you do need to pinch slightly this here with a set of mole grips to make it slightly smaller, so that then the ball doesn't slide off, because it can happen. So true to Project Joker's form, this is the back box. That was the rear exhaust hanger, which was a bit of wire. And I mean, I'm no great welder by any stretch, but that's a lot of bird shit on there. It's not even a twin coming out the box. I don't know what this is. Okay, so that's side by side with the TA Technics Euro style single tailpipe box. And I've also sorted out, and I've also finished the rear coilovers and the 5/100 conversion. There's no point really showing you guys, it's pretty straightforward. If you can't do this, then I might do a video on how to do coilovers. Put it in the comments if you want me to do a how-to on coilovers. But yeah, So mounted it all up with the Mark IV brake caliper conversion. Right, so I know it's on axle stands at the front, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to adjust those rear coilovers a little bit, or quite a bit should I say, because they are definitely way too low. So the back box is on, toe pop's looking good, just need to fit a rear bumper on for him. And the brake line's painted in gloss black with this paint in here in the engine bay, looks pretty good. So the only thing left to have a brake pedal now is to bleed the system and obviously have a brake reservoir. Now I need to go and source one, a Passat B3 one that's got the takeoff for, so it's the same as the Mark II style, like a square one, and it has a small takeoff that goes to the clutch master cylinder. So that's kind of it really, guys. So join me, guys, please, in the next episode where I'll be dealing with the gear selector, going from this rod change to the O2A style cable change, and kind of mounting that up and see if maybe I can do something a bit trick or something a bit different. If it's too hard, I won't do, I'll just mount it. It's just that when you do mount it, the gear stick actually sits really quite low. But let me see what I can do maybe. And also if you push it up too high, then the gator doesn't fit around it. So let's see if I can do a workaround for that. And then also we're going to be getting the engine in, guys, and let's see if the engine will actually clear this strut brace that Project Joker has welded in here. So let's see if all that's going to take place. All right, guys, like I said, join me in the next episode for all of those bits. Thanks again for watching. Please like to free, guys, comment, subscribe. You just click on the notification bell so you can get updates on videos. And yeah, guys, be safe. See you on the next one.